and cuts off the first sentence that I say. So I'm waiting a couple of seconds. But I got to tell you something about so-called business in America, okay? Not only has my business, and excuse me if I got food all over me, I just ate some shrimp and some sauce. Um, my business got gutted by government activity, a government action, and the banks, the predatory banks, which I am now deeply into debt because of credit cards and all. Everything they encourage you to do, they eventually cut you off at the knees. Now, let me. I'm watching Shark Tank. Okay. Remember Shark Tank? Remember Shark Tank? Well, it was a show. It was like the other guy who had what was the show? It disappeared too, strangely enough. Supposed billionaire setting up small business people, literally setting them up for failure. I just watched one. It's a prime example of what happens to these people that supposedly go on there and get funding, except for dumb shit like Scrub Daddy. Fucking Scrub Daddy. Are you fucking kidding me? Novelty items. So you go to any store, you go to those dollar stores, you're going to see a whole shelf full of all this crap as seen on TV, all of this Shark Tank shit, and it's all garbage because eventually they go to China, they make some garbage, they sell it to dumb Americans, and it ends up in the garbage where it should be, right there, okay? I'm watching a prime. That's why I came on live, just to piss him on about this. These shows are all from like 2013 to 2018. Why aren't they airing them now? Because they're bullshit. Just like the other guy, who just trust the process. Trust the process. And he's setting up. What's he doing? He's setting up candy companies and fucking little tiny bullshit companies in Chicago, where he's located. Never went any beyond that. The other guy too, the Portnoy asshole, barstool bullshit. He's like, what we're going to set up businesses. Tell us your story. And what does he end up doing? They throw a little money at select restaurants, most of them around New York, so they can go to get a free meal. So they can go get a free meal. I'm okay. Anyway, back to this. Shark Tank. I just watched one where these two jokers, and these people they all get screwed. They all get screwed. These two jokers walked in trying to push a luggage deal for a thing called Trunkster. And I just looked it up. Trunkster. What's wrong with Trunkster? They asked for $1,000,003, $1.3 million for like 5%, which means that they were saying their business is worth $25 million. And then they asked these two jokers, gay boys, just they're unbelievable gay boys, and they asked, I'll get to it. They said, how much well, we went on Kickstarter, and we made $1 million something, on Kickstarter in an hour. And I'm thinking, okay, somebody bullshitted that. Somebody faked it, or they suckered a whole lot of people, and they did sucker a whole lot of people. Some stupid piece of luggage like that, but smaller, okay, with a stupid fucking supposed a sliding glass door on the front of it, or a sliding door on the front of it, so you can pull things out of it, and it had a battery in it so you could charge your phone. No solar panels, by the way. And in the handle, it supposedly had a scale so you could weigh your luggage. So you can make sure you weren't over the limit. And these shark people were arguing about it. First, they were going on saying, 25 million is crazy. But then a couple of them were like, this is really a good idea. But they all poo pooed it. But then three or four of them were trying to outbid each other on these stupid fucking pieces of luggage. Luggage that you can mass produce. Go to any place that sells luggage. You can go to Kmart. You can go to Walmart, and there's all this fucking cheap luggage, and that's what you end up with. Like these pieces I bought off of Amazon. So they're like going on and on about this fucking luggage. And these two jokers, they said, well, okay, what did you guys put in? They put in $5,000 each to do this, to do a Kickstarter. And they were just looking at them like they were made of gold. I'm thinking, you guys put in $5,000 each. And you got a prototype made. And supposedly you're sitting on, it was all bullshit. It was all bullshit. Why? Well, eventually two of these so-called sharks, they're the most bogus people in the world. These people are not investing in small business. If they were, they wouldn't be going about this. What they're doing is they're throwing chump change at people. They throw, it doesn't matter if it's $100 or $1 million. It's fucking chump change to these people. It's a fucking tax write-off, a business expense they can write off, and most of them never end up giving the whole amount because it just falls apart. So I just looked. God damn it! Two of them went in on the deal, and they're always wonderful. Wonderful. We're gonna make luggage. Trunkster. They should have changed it to Junkster. I just did a Google search. Here it is, 2026. All right. They were doing that in 2013 or something like that. And it just said, I just read it. It said, blah, blah, blah. They went on Shark Tank. They got a deal. And then, well, the whole thing fell apart. They didn't even get the money from the sharks because they couldn't keep up with their promises. It was all bullshit. These guys scammed people for $1 million or so. The people who invested in Kickstarter, not the sharks. The sharks they didn't spend a dime. The deal never even went through. Because these two guys were they were scam artists. They couldn't produce the goddamn luggage. The pieces that they did produce were subpar. They had some Chinese manufacturer put together shit like that, that'll fold up like a cheap suitcase. There's an old saying. So they screwed thousands of people who were stupid enough to invest in this Kickstarter. Not to mention whoever was behind the whole thing to make it start. These guys probably walked. I didn't ask. I'm going to ask Google. Because for some reason, this AI does know everything. You just have to ask the question correctly. So I want to find out what happened to these two jokers, straight out of college, business boy, gay boys. But the whole thing just collapsed. And it collapsed in 2017. So it wasn't long after this. They never even got off the ground. But they got on TV, and nobody follows up on this shit. All these dumb people watching at home are thinking, ooh, we've got a chance. This is the American dream. We've got billionaires investing in our ideas. Let's go. The banks get a hold of everything in the end. They charge you 30%, 35%. I got an offer from Square, who already screwed me on about a $3,000 loan, which I'm paying off 20% at a time. Every time I make a dollar, they take 20% off the top. So I don't even get the money that what little money I'm earning from the jobs that I'm still doing. And by the way, my Cadillac, the front brakes locked up on me the other day, Friday. Car's been sitting over at the shop unlooked at since then. It's now Monday. I don't have the money to fix the goddamn thing. And the only work I was doing was driving all these illegals for Lyft, which is why I'm so upset. Because small business gets fucked. In the end, small business gets fucked. The grave is waiting. The grave is waiting. You know, young people, you're stupid, all right? You're ignorant. You think you got a future. You ain't got no fucking future. You don't have to wait until you're as old as I am. I'm pushing 70. I outlived my brother and my dad, okay? But you ain't gonna make fucking 50. If you're under 20 now, or in your 20s, you ain't gonna live to see 50. They got plans for you, dude. Or lady or girl. You're stupid, you're young, you're uneducated. They've deliberately dumbed you down to the point where you're going to buy the leftist dogma or you're going to buy the conservative dogma. You're going to think you got it made. Oh, I'm working for a company, I'm making 3 to 6 figures. And you're spending half of that on a fucking apartment. Okay. Oh, I know. We bought a house. No. The bank is letting you live there for whatever interest that you're paying. Plus, the government's taking your money every year for a property tax. Plus, people are stupid. You're fucking stupid. You bought into this lie. And it's worldwide, man. Except for the shithole nations, of course. They got nothing to begin with. So, you're... this Shark Tank thing, when I saw it, I'm like, that's America in a nutshell, buddy. Fucking Mexicans in San Francisco stole actually, I just got a letter from the SBA. They were admitted that the government, somebody in government, United States government, gave my social security number to these fucking Mexicans. Gave it to them. They didn't steal it. They didn't have to steal my data. Some fucking quisling in government I've got it in writing on a letter, gave them my social security. And I get finally, after years, I get a letter from the SBA saying, oh, it's a terrible mistake. So we've made it terrible. It's just a clerical error. It's a clerical error. The numbers, they should not have gotten that. Well, they used my company name. Well, they should not have done that. No, that's a mistake. They walked away with $500,000 in my fucking company name, Luken Limousine. Okay? Luken Limousine, Luken. Yeah, look it up. Okay? And you'll see where I'm coming from. Because this influx of illegals have just killed my business, absolutely. But with the help of government stooges, who are deliberately destroying our republic. So, these fucking Mexicans walked away with $500,000 in funding from the SBA in my company name. All right. SBA just said, oh, that's a mistake. No. Did they give the money back? No. No mention of that, because they didn't have to pay it back, just like the billions that went missing. Billions. And now we find out it could be trillions that people have been given by our own idiots in government. There's no such thing as government. There's only quislings and idiots in government. Giving them, even in Franklin County, Columbus, Ohio, where I'm supposedly working, they were giving billions to these fucking, just the Somalians. Not mention all the other hundreds of thousands of illegals that they've packed into the city. Turned it into an absolute shithole. Most of the city. And the white people out in the suburbs, the white flight, They act like it's not even happening because they don't see it every day. I saw it every fucking day. These people were taking the county alone, social services. Supposed to be taking care of old poor people like me. Nah, they tried to take away my fucking social security. That's another glitch. Sorry. Somebody pushed the wrong button on a computer and we tried to take away your benefits. We're terribly. I had to go to the state above their head. I had to go to the state of Ohio and have a hearing. And they were unapologetic, but they're like, it's a terrible mistake. And the guy's like, you people are fucking Mr. Luke. And they reinstate his benefits because he's old and he's white. He's an old white man, an old racist. But we have to give him the money whether we like it or not. But in the meantime, they're handing millions to these fucking piece of shit motherfuckers they brought in. Thousands of dollars every month. Free rent. Basically free cars. They're all driving nice new cars. And my aging Cadillac is over at the shop right now. The front end, the brakes season up on me. That's where I am. And Shark Tank, they're faking like they're helping these small businesses. It's such bullshit. And every goddamn one of them, if you look into what they made their money on, speculation on property in New York, things like that, government contracts. That's how they made their money, selling their crappy software like what's his face, selling their crappy software to government contracts where they get overpaid, and made them billionaires. They cut the deal, so they're like, now we're going to pretend that we're really giving a shit about you idiots out there, the great unwashed, the struggling poor people, the struggling middle class. It's a bunch of fucking suckers. God damn it. Sports, whoever you are, fuck you. Fuck you. Young people. Yeah. You know what? I wasn't a huge asshole like that when I was younger. We were raised different, of course. I respected older people than us. We didn't destroy them. We didn't make fun of them. We didn't push them off of curbs. We helped them across the street. Unlike you've been taught to be thoughtless and inhumane, and now you're going to reap the benefits. You're going to see it in the next few years. You're going to see it in the next few years. You are going to regret. You are going to regret being so arrogant, you little fuck. So anyway, sports. Yeah, you know what? This is my real name, okay? You don't have the guts to put your real name up there, do you? Of course not. Because you're a chicken shit sitting at a fucking keyboard in your mom's basement eating Hot Pockets. That's a fact. World is not overpopulated. That's another lie. The fact that you believe that, you're an imbecile. You look at the planet. You look at films from India. 2 billion people packed into a country the size of Texas. You look at people taking train trips through India. You don't see a fucking human being. It's a lie. You go into the cities now, and they got people on top of each other because that's what they want. They want them. We're not overpopulated. This planet could support tens of billions. There could be food growing on every square inch and in the oceans as well. But the people that own things don't want that. And you're one of these people that buys into it. The world's overpopulated. We're not going to make babies. Congratulations. You're contributing to your own fucking demise, your own fucking extinction. Birth rates are plummeting. Why? Because stupid young people, they don't even want to get married. They're like, no, I'm not going to bring children into this terrible world. Your blood, your DNA is gone. You are done. Hang it up. You're the one that's going to die, not me. It's the size of Texas, moron. That's another thing. Look at a real, not the Mercator map, the one that's all stretched out that makes Greenland look at how it's bigger than the United States. Greenland is like this. India is like this. Okay. But India is 12 times bigger than India. Well, see, now I know where you're coming from. India is 12 times bigger than India. Congratulations. Anyway, I said my piece about Shark Tank. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. It's just to make people think that there is an American dream, that there is you can come up with an idea and you can become a millionaire. Yeah, they come up with, you know what they come up with? They come up with trinkets and stupid shit. Scrub daddy. A fucking sponge. Anyway, that's enough.